and a great asset to the team. And she is directly involved in content. And if she can't, she'll find you the great resources. So shout out to her. Big supporter of the team and of the show. And also, you guys, if you guys are looking for new apparel, we just dropped something special. If you know my producer and my partner, she just dropped her line of love lessons with love from a Latina line. We're starting off with something small, so if you heard it here first in FGA, go to fgmshows.com and check out the new apparel. And also, if you're a supporter of the show and you want to rep some of the gear, we appreciate it. It's live now on our website. Shout out to all of our sponsors and more information and more events to come. Today's guest, none other than Mr. Oral, a new business owner in the Gate City, just opened Caribbean Breeze right across the street and right next to City Hall. Actually, we had the privilege of having breakfast this morning there. Not only was this gentleman fast and efficient, but the food was delicious. You know, sometimes you got to worry when food is fast, you're like, it's been rushed, but the balance and the flavors and the warm welcoming was felt. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you. First off, when we started noticing, I was driving by, I think it was, last weekend? I was driving by, and you did a great job with lighting up the outside because it just kind of felt dark and not inviting. And maybe because of the brick and mortar feel and style and sometimes the mentality of old business owners here, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of attitude, right? You did something special. But the inners, what I was telling Jasmine earlier was Caribbean, Central America. It has that feel of like a little bit of Havana, Cuba with the old cars and the colors and the aesthetic. It's definitely Caribbean feel. Tell us what inspired you to open the restaurant and what did you bring to the community with your flavors?
I've been an executive chef for over 35 years, where I work all aspects of food service. But many places I work, people never know if I'm from the Caribbean island until sometime when when I start speak up based on my accent. They say, "Oh, you're French." I said, "No, I'm Haitian."
Yeah.
So after 35 years experience working all over the country, high end, I'm a certified executive chef.
Wow.
I participate in all kind aspect of competition. I have medal, and I work for a company for over 19 years where my job was I get all the title district executive chef, area executive chef for the East Coast. I work for university, Marine Corps, all aspects of food service. So after 2000, with the pandemic, I feel like it's time for me to stay home with my wife.
Yeah.
So that's the time we were thinking about opening a restaurant. And I said, if I open a restaurant, I need to open a Caribbean restaurant which show the flair, authentic of the Caribbean island.
Right.
Not only one ethnic Caribbean country,
Right.
but to cover at least a minimum 5 Caribbean islands.
Tell me when did you migrate from Haiti to the United States?
Oh, I migrated to the United States in the year
Early 80s.
early 80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was that? What was that like? What was that transition coming? And where did you end up? Did you end up in New York City or did you end up what state did you end up
I
in?
ended up in Miami.
Miami?
Yes, from Miami I moved to Boston.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a transition. What a sacrifice in weather. Tell me, how was it like being in Miami, cuz I know there's a lot of Caribbean influence in Miami, What inspired you to pursue the restaurant industry, and did you have that profession or maybe that experience back home within the love of cooking?
No, not really. That's a way of life, that's a job I can find to make a living.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I start as we call that utility, but it's a dishwasher. That's how
Yeah.
I start.
Mm.
And while I was doing dishes, my boss tell me, listen, why don't you go learn English after you finish ELS?
Yeah.
Come to learn how to be
Mm-hmm.
how to cook. Then I start prepping, and from there, here I am.
Wow. I mean, not just like that, not overnight.
Not overnight.
Yeah,
It take
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of time to
Right.
be a lot of years of service, dedication, and love, passion to be where I am now.
Right, absolutely. Now, tell me some of the influences being in Miami that you were inspired by, because I know that there's a specific type of culture when it comes to the Haitian culture and the cuisine, right? But we were talking about something earlier, which is you were talking about some traditional dishes that you have at the restaurant, like oxtail, and in South America, my mom's side, Ecuadorian side, we have oxtails too, and it'll be interesting to see the techniques and the different. My mom makes oxtail soup. How do you cook oxtail?
Okay, so when it comes to Caribbean cuisine,
Yeah,
it's all about the spices who make the difference. Because each country cook oxtail,
Yeah.
but it's what they use to make the oxtail. The oxtail we have on our menu is it's Jamaican menu, Jamaican oxtail, where we use Scotch bonnet, you got the butter beans, you got all the spices, to cook it the Jamaican way.
right. Okay. Tell me about this. The assumption, the perception of Caribbean food, in a demographic where predominantly white here in this community, right? And the differences within, understanding the seasoning. The perception is that everything's spicy.
You're right. That's true.
Right?
That's why every single customer will come to the restaurant.
Is it spicy?
Is it spicy? I have to walk out to explain them. Spices, it's what you put on the food.
Right.
The perception, right? Spicy, it's peppers. It's hot.
Yeah.
I can't eat a spicy food. Every time no, it's not.
They'll put salt but not pepper because pepper's too spicy.
Yeah. Some of the food cook with spice. If you have jerk chicken, of course jerk chicken is spicy.
Yeah.
But if you have other food, it doesn't mean it's not not spicy. Spicy is the flavor you put on the food.
Yeah. Tell me, within, moving here and in Miami, and what were some of the restaurants some of the inspirations that you were influenced by, and what cultures kind of mixing it all together, because you had your own traditions, right? And heritage. Now, traditionally in Miami, there's a melting pot within a lot of Caribbeans and cultures. What was something that was drawn to you from Latin America?
To be honest with you, I did not stay long in Miami.
Yeah.
Then I come to Boston.
Right.
I'm a part of my father from Cuba, so
Yeah.
I'm a Haitian. I can say Haitian Cuba.
Yeah.
That's how you get
Haitian Cuban.
Cuban, because
Wow.
my father was born in Cuba,
Okay.
and he was here in Nashville.
Hablas español?
Un poco.
Oh, un poco. Okay. Okay. All right. Un poquito.
Un poquito.
Tell me, so what were some of the influences from your Cuban side that you kind of embedded into the traditions of cooking and the inspiration?
Yeah, the inspiration, it's the food is unique in Cuba, and as you look at all the Caribbean cuisine, they all merge together. They all almost the same. They all have rice. For example, I give you rice. For example, all Caribbean love rice. They eat a lot of rice.
Rice with everything.
Yes, rice and beans, white rice.
Spaghetti.
But when you eat, for example, arroz con dulces from Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico, the difference is like they put some olive, they use the pigeon peas, and they have the sofrito, which they make with cilantro. That's give it different flavor.
Right.
So that's what difference versus rice and beans, which Haitian eat, Jamaican call it rice and peas. They eat it too. So that's the spicy that's what make a big difference.
Yeah. But the rice and beans isn't spicy at all, though.
No, the rice and beans is not spicy. When it's not spicy hot, but it's
Yeah.
what you put in it.
The spices.
People's
gotcha.
always talking about spices.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
spicy.
It's
No,
hot,
it's
it's hot.
not hot. It's not
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
It's the flavor. Spicy
Exactly.
mean the flavor. You
All right, gotcha.
immigrate. You
Spices.
integrate spices.
Not spicy.
Spices.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. For all you listeners out there, they're always going to Latin restaurants or Caribbean restaurants that are always like, is that spicy? Is this? Relax. Not everything's hot unless you ask for it. You know, it's like you add, you know, if you want to, we add the spices with Tabasco sauce or sriracha, or no different than if you would go to a Vietnamese or a noodle house where you say, hey, can I have sriracha with the soup? Is that spicy? Or Szechuan, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But you get that a lot.
Yeah, but as an executive chef, you don't cook for yourself. You don't cook what you like to
Yeah.
eat, because I love Haitian food a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But when you cook the food, you have to put flavor on it. But when
Right.
you talk about spicy, not spices,
Yeah.
when you talk about spicy, the food has to be neutral, because you can always add. You
Right.
cannot take away.
Yeah.
That's why you have salt and pepper on the table,
Right.
and that's why you have sriracha, you have Tabasco. You can always add, make it more. But
Right.
if you put too much spicy,
That's it.
people won't be able to eat it.
Right. Right. Tell me some of the growing up. What are some of the traditional dishes that you grew up with?
Oh, when I grew up with griot, with fried pork, fried plantain,
Yeah.
rice and beans,
Yeah.
a lot of chicken,
Yeah.
goat meat. You know, we have our favorite fish. It's a little expensive, conch, red snapper.
Yeah.
You know, that's our type of food. Then we have on the street food.
Yeah.
We call what we call fritai. Fritai is the assortment of fritters.
Yeah.
You know, you got plantain, you got we call it akra. You know,
What's that?
okra. Yeah, it's akra, but it's not the okra.
Okra. Yeah.
You know, which we use malanga.
Yeah. For the listeners, what is okra?
It's a root vegetable. It's hard to explain in English, but it's starchy and it adds starch to whatever food that you're eating. So
It is.
yeah.
Okay.
So malanga is also a root vegetable too. That would be
She's a chef, by the way. Could we
in a past life, yes.
in a past life? No, this life. She knows how to cook. Listen, could we hijack the kitchen real quick and do something like do a collaboration, first generation, Puerto Rican with some Haitian?
Oh, yeah.
We could do.
yes.
You know what? How about this? How
We
about
have the penil. We do penil.
Oh,
pernil.
Monfongo.
Ooh,
Sanco. We have sancocho.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Mr. Oral,
Yeah.
Mr. Oral, how about we do this? How about we do a special chef guest?
Yes.
Well, we do it in first gen, like a first gen festival in the restaurant.
Ooh.
Where we do like a first gen cook-off festival, you know, like a little bit of Puerto Rican and Haitian and then
I can
fusion.
learn and you can
Yeah.
learn and
Yeah,
Ooh, I
we
like
can.
that.
We have it. We used to have a program like that. We
I'm
have
not
a
gonna
guest
be.
chef.
I'm not gonna be in the kitchen. We could do it. I'm just gonna be the taster.
The
Yeah.
taster.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit, wait for the food to come out. I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna, hot, spicy. So you moved to Boston. Thanks, Jess. So you moved to Boston, and how did it start? Where did it all start?
They all start at the Versailles restaurant
Ooh.
in Massachusetts, in Lexington, Mass. But it's no longer Versailles because the restaurant has been closed.
Right.
That's where I start learning and get the background of cooking. Then after that, I went to college to learn how to. It's not to learn how to cook because I'm already a chef, but
To perfect that.
to perfect. Because if you don't have that diploma, you don't have that. It's like Then, while I was working for the corporate, then anyone can call yourself an executive chef,
Yeah.
but you need to have a documentation to support it.
Right.
That's why I become a certified. I put a CEC next next to my name, certified executive chef.
Nice.
So when you're certified executive chef, you're more respected.
Yeah.
And if you apply anywhere, as long as you're certified,
Yeah.
people think you know what you're doing because you take all kind of exam, practice, study, all aspect for food service. So if you're a doctor, you have to take the board
doctor, yeah,
test,
right,
right? So same thing. If you are a chef, you cannot just be a cook. Then you call yourself a chef. Who knows you? Nobody.
Everybody
So
will be a cook.
everybody. But when you become certified,
Yeah.
that's when people really know. Oh, it's a real chef.
Yeah. Now tell me, so you got your certification, your CC.
See.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what? Where did you start going? Where did you start working for? Like what restaurants?
So I was working at Versailles Restaurant. I work all aspects of food service. You can
Yeah.
name him. From Versailles Restaurant to Doubletree Hotel.
Nice.
Then from there, I decided the life was hard, working weekend every holiday. So
Yeah.
that's why I joined a company named Sodexo
Mhm.
at Dana Faber.
Yeah.
Then from there, after that, I left, started working in different restaurants.
Mhm.
Then I enjoy back to Sodexo at Cost Point Corporate Services. From there, I work at Bose. Then after that, I get promoted to take one of the contracts Sodexo have in the Marine Corps in North Carolina, and that's where from there, that's when I expand.
Wow. So you were cooking for the Marine Corps.
Yes, cooking and put system concept in place.
Yeah.
You know, we have the Camp Lejeune. It's big. So I moved from Nashville. We all moved 2006.
Yeah.
I moved with my wife and my children. We all moved down to North Carolina. As a matter of fact, the kids love it because my daughter went. They went to Wilmington and UNC, so now they live there. As we speak, my wife is down there with them. I went to visit them now.
Oh wow. How is it? How is it working for the Marine Corps and cooking for the Marine Corps? That's an experience in itself.
Yeah, but I was proud to do that.
Yeah.
I was proud. It's because one thing I learned on the food, it doesn't matter what you do. At the end of the day, the science we do,
Yeah.
everyone has to eat.
Yes.
People may not realize that. That's a big impact we put on people's life. You go to a doctor. The doctor treats you.
Yeah.
Guess what? When it's 11, he has to eat because we have to feed people. So feeding the Marine Corps, it was an honor for me to work at Camp Lejeune as the area chef, oversee all the mess hall,
Yeah.
and put some concept in place and give back because they do the service they do to protect us, and that was an honor for me to cook and help and even train some of them, so that was great.
Have you touched base with anybody from the Haitian community here in New Hampshire and Nashville?
Yes, I touched base with a lot of them. I realized we have more Haitian live in Nashville than I thought because they all over. Yeah. So every time one come, they tell the other. They have Nashville, Manchester, Merrimack,
Milford,
Milford,
yeah.
Bedford, Pelham, so Thanksgiving. But with Caribbean restaurant, we try to promote all people around Laurel, Nashville, in the surrounding area.
Yeah, and when they come in, when your community comes in, right, and because we are our own worst critics, especially within our community. What do they say? What do they expect when they see a Cuban Haitian running a Caribbean restaurant, and then they say, "Hey, I want to try some of our authentic food." What do they usually say?
They were very proud
Yeah.
and thanks me for opening a restaurant in Nashville. The first thing they said, "Oh, I don't have to go to Boston anymore."
Yes.
So I see people said, "Oh, I'm not driving far."
Right.
And what make me happy, it's not only, for example, I don't think there is a Jamaican restaurant around here.
Yeah.
When they come in, they said, "Oh, wow, if I need some beef patty, I have to go to Boston. If I need some jerk, so we don't have to go anywhere. So that's make me proud.
You
I
make
can, I have, in my menu, I can complement some of the other
yeah.
ethnic background around.
You make beef patties as well?
Yeah, we have beef patty, cocoa bread,
Man.
oxtail, jerk
Okay.
chicken, all that.
Okay.
For the Dominican, we have chicharron de pollo, we have pollo quesada, we have bacalao,
Wow, wow, wow.
we have all of them.
Yeah. Opening a restaurant takes a lot of strives, a lot of red tape, sometimes, regulations, health department. Did you have that background in how to open a restaurant before working for these other restaurants? Did you kind of see how the mechanics on how it's possible to open a restaurant in somewhere like Boston? I'm pretty sure that there's probably more extensive compared to a small town like Nashville.
I have not opened a private restaurant. However, with my background as a district and executive chef, I travel all over the country with the company where we take over the new account.
Wow.
And where you take a new account, you have to start all over again.
Right.
So that's mean I have experience to open a restaurant because we have a new concept.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I was at SUNY Albany, now it's become a showcase account at the university because it was one of the largest food service university the company acquired.
Yeah.
So I was one they called to go. I went there, I worked with a team of 7 executive chefs and put concept in place, and now it's become a show account.
Yeah. SUNY Albany. Tell me a little bit about your experience with that. How traveling all over the world, taking accounts over. What are the logistics and how, taking another restaurant and confirming and changing that whole concept? How does that work?
It takes a lot of dedication and courage and time to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to remember our customer,
Yeah.
what they want, what they're looking for. For example, if it's corporate, so what make the change? Why they move from the other food service provider and move to your company?
Right.
So customer service is always the key, and as our job is to please and make the customer happy and provide their need and what they want.
Yeah. Changing a customer base to a new kind of style and demographic. It could be a little tough because that familiar restaurant in that location, can be something that it's familiar. It's a sense of memory, especially in wherever you go, right? What have been some of the challenges, because of restaurants previously that were there and then all of a sudden seeing something new and that could be scary or maybe unfamiliar to individuals in that community?
First, it's you have to be a good seller.
Yeah.
Because one of the points you have to focus on quality, consistency, and the food presentation. And at the same time, you have to keep up the food trend. That's mean every year, even the food, but every year something new pop up. I remember when I moved to Bentley University as the executive chef, and I walked by the district manager. Said, "Hey, I have that area. Nobody. It's empty. What can you put? What can you do that? What can you put there?"
Yeah.
I'm looking at that time. Pokey was
Yeah.
people. No, if you don't eat pokey was pop up.
Yeah.
Then I said, okay, I'm gonna put a poke bowl there. So we could have a poke station.
Yeah.
And we do an open house, and everybody come to try it. And I see people rave about it. People said, "Oh, I eat that all the time. Now I'm glad I can eat." They have we give many choices.
Yeah.
First, you have to do your homework. Find out what a survey what the customer want.
For the listeners that don't know what poke is, how do you explain that? Poke bowl?
Yeah,
Bowl?
poke bowl. Poke bowl. It's You can have it hot, you can have it cold,
Yeah.
but usually we got white rice, you have a lot of different topping, you have avocado, you have tuna, you have salmon,
Yeah.
then you have all the vegetables,
Yeah.
so it's very healthy.
Right.
Then you have different sauces to put on top of it. We even have quinoa if don't for the vegetarian.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
Quinoa, so it's very
Okay.
healthy to eat.
Yeah, I can see everybody like a fast turnaround with the poke bowl and in and out. It's
Yes.
good.
But it's Asian. But
Yeah.
that's when you chef, when you executive chef,
How
you cook any food around the world. That's sometimes when you say you are a chef. What food for example, people might say, oh, the guy from Haiti, oh, it's Haitian food. No, I'm an executive chef.
Yeah.
My background is food. When you say food, that's my love. Because what I always said, whatever I put on the plate comes from my heart. Because you have to have the love for it. Because
that, yeah.
sometimes the food you give the people make a big difference in their life,
Right.
and sometimes it could be the last meal that person have. So that's mean when I learned that from the
Wow.
Marine Corps, because sometimes they come in, they have a nice meal, and they get the deploy, then they don't come back home. You remember you feed that person, and that's why I take it seriously. You have to, when we talk about quality, consistency, the food presentation, that's but the main key is the food safety.
Right.
Because I always said, if you're gonna take a flight,
Yeah.
you think that plane is not safe, you're not gonna take a ride, right? It's the same for the food.
Right.
If the food is not safe, we cannot eat it. So that's when food safety is it's number one of my priority. It's not only have the restaurant you come, you eat, but at the same time the safety of the food, the way you prepare, the cross contamination, And it's not only that. I'm a master certified for Allen Train. Allen Train is because now there's a lot of issue with people allergic with food, celiac,
Yeah.
all kind that I know all of this, So
Wow.
have a restaurant is one, but knowing about the safety of the food the customer will eat, that's another step you need to know.
Wow. That's you put that in a really good perspective. Like you never know if that's gonna be somebody's last meal. And wow.
Yeah, you have to make them happy.
Yeah.
Whatever meal you put, you have to
Satisfied.
present it well, satisfied. It doesn't matter who you're cooking for.
Right.
And guess what? Customer always right. Because someone come, they want a nice meal, you have to do it. And sometimes you have to go out of the box, out of the menu
Right.
to please that customer because that's why they want to eat. And someone come in, they want to eat, you have to do what they want.
Can you add bacon bits to my omelet?
Like today, he said, can you have some
Can you add
some
bacon?
pepper jack cheese in
Yeah,
your omelet?
pepper
Yeah,
cheese, yeah.
that's fine.
A little spicy
The wait
cheese.
staff will come and say, Chef, they want. I said, they can have anything they want.
Right.
Never say no to them. As long we have it, we'll make it happen.
Right.
Same thing last night. I got someone who said, "Oh, I got an order, but I know you close, but I already put the order." I said, "Come in. I feed you." I get some Haitian who work every Saturday.
Yeah.
He said, "The door closed." I said, "I won't let you go home hungry. You want some food? Come sit down and have some food." You have to go that extra mile.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's amazing.
Yes.
You have a great perspective on just how, for the love of the food and what you do, it shows.
Yeah, it's my passion. That's what I do.
Absolutely.
I never, all my life I work in the food service. So that's why, I never have to bring food from home at work.
Yeah.
That's
That's another question I wanted to ask you. What are you sick of cooking? Because, there's always somebody, a chef, whether they're just like a consistent something, they're just like, oh, God.
No. It's if you're a professional, that's what you do. You cannot sick of doing something,
Right.
of cooking. You love it. Make fun of it. Always try to do something new.
Right.
It's a pleasure to do that. You cannot sick of You think a doctor will say, I'm sick to treat a patient? Come on. So if you are food, I'm
Yeah.
not sick of anything. Any of the food I cook in.
What's your favorite food to cook?
Oh, I have a French background cooking. I had not really have any favorite food to cook. I cook the favorite food the customer like, the customer want. That's my favorite food. The favorite food my customer want. When the customer walk to the door, what they want, that the favorite food I
You're
like to cook.
definitely an executive chef. Man. You know exactly what to say. Tell me, what was the vision? How did it come about? Why Nashua? Why Caribbean Breeze?
Okay, Nashua. I used to live in Nashua in the year 2000.
Yeah.
In 2006, I moved back to North Carolina to work. You know,
What part of North Carolina?
Jacksonville near Camp Lejeune, but
Yeah.
I used to live in Hubert. It's a small town, Swangsboro,
Yeah.
between Swangsboro and Jacksonville. That's where I used to live. Yes, but after I spent 12 years, travel all over the country, and then we decided to come back to Nashua.
Yeah.
And as I look around, I said, you know what? If I'm going to open a restaurant, I'm not going to open a restaurant normal, typical, because I'm from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And I know in Nashua, there is some Puerto Rican, Dominican restaurant. But I do research. There is no Haitian restaurant
No.
in Nashua. There is no Jamaican restaurant in Nashua. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do. Then I do a research too. I find out there is no Caribbean restaurant in United States.
Right. Wow.
When I say that, there is there is restaurant for one Caribbean country,
Right.
but not a Caribbean restaurant for 5 different. So I said, let me open a Caribbean restaurant. This is the first Nashua Caribbean restaurant and the first Caribbean restaurant in United States. So it's a restaurant when you walk in, you from Jamaica, you will get an authentic food from Jamaica. You from Puerto Rico, you will get something from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
You from Cuba, you find your ropa vieja. That's
Ropa vieja.
ropa vieja. Yes.
Yeah.
Then you from Dominican Republic, you get your chicharron, pollo guisado, bacalao.
Yeah.
You from Haiti, you get your griot, your frita, your lambi, your fried fish. So no matter where you from 5 Caribbean island, which Haiti and Dominican Republic, it's the one, but it's divided. The food is almost the same, but the spice is different. The spices is different. So
Spices.
yes,
That's spicy.
and so that's why by creating a Caribbean restaurant, you attract all the ethnic Caribbean and some Latino
Right.
in your restaurant. So that's why I create Caribbean. That's why I have Caribbean because that was the vision. A lot of people said, why don't you have a Haitian restaurant? And some people said, well, if you look at the logo, you see that. Then if you see that, you see all the flag from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And by getting the place too, it's not only it's called Caribbean Breeze, but at the same time, I still open for breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch. That's mean the American traditional breakfast for the diner.
That's perfect.
I have that because you have to keep that. Then I still have the lunch. You need your burger, I still have that. So it's like I open. It's not only Caribbean Breeze, Caribbean, but I open to all kind of ethnic background.
Yeah.
I'm more proud when I see some African people say, "You have goat?"
Yeah.
I say, "Yes, I have goat." They love to come together. So it doesn't matter where you from because you see Caribbean Breeze. Don't even think it's only Caribbean food you can only find.
Right.
You will find other food who will feed your palate.
That is amazing. Here's a $1 million question. I heard all these Caribbean foods, but can I get a cafecito with a Cuban? With a Cuban sandwich?
I have not put the Cuban sandwich yet, because
Un jibarito? No, not jibarito.
we're working on getting the gun opening.
Yeah. No, un jibarito is something different.
After the gun opening, we will take when people come, we will take a survey to find out what people are looking for. Then we will start because we have so much. The menu is so wide, a
Yeah.
lot of choices. Then, based on the survey, we will integrate some new item. It's not. It may not be on the menu, but those items will be as a special of the day. This week, this is what we have from Cuba. This week, this is what we
Oh.
have from Dominican Republic as a special.
Do me a favor. You know what? For the people that are scared about spicy or not spicy, put a little fire emoji on it. So if it is truly spicy, not spices, if it is spicy, put maybe one. If it's kind of like, depending on the palate, right? So that people can be like, and they could stop asking. They're like, oh, there's one fire. That's not spicy at all. There's two fire. Maybe mild. That's three fire. Oh, that's really spicy.
Yes, that's what I will do because we work in getting the gun opening. I just joined the Nashville Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
They just called me this morning.
Yeah.
They asked me to give them 2 weeks to send for the gun opening. They will do a ribbon cutting for me ceremony.
Congratulations.
All right, thank
Shout out to Wendy and all the team over there. Nathan and Chuck from the Great Chamber of Commerce. And actually, speaking about the Chamber of Commerce, we just actually partnered up with them. So we will be connecting more of the BIPOC community through First Gen Multimedia to the Chamber of Commerce. We noticed that there's a lot of opportunity for businesses and people of color that are entrepreneurs. So we're bridging that gap and connecting them. So I'm glad to hear that you'll be doing a ribbon cutting at your location, and we'll definitely attend and be there to show love and support. Because we just love to see other individuals from our communities thriving and getting the recognition that they deserve. Not every day do we get to interview a world executive chef like yourself, and to be able to, travel the world and say, come back and I love the Gate City and I want to open something special here is amazing. Right next to City Hall too.
Yes.
Who from the city has come out? I noticed that we have Alderman Lopez came out this weekend.
And last night I had the mayor of Nashville.
Jimmy Dodges?
Yes.
Nice.
He was
Nice.
he stopped by have dinner.
Nice.
And I have someone else is it a senator? Is a she's a senator from Nashville. She's
from the state?
Yeah, from the city. She represents the city of Nashville. She came in. She came many times for breakfast lunch.
Was it secretary?
No, she's not secretary. She give me. I forgot her name, but
No way.
she's a good friend of the mayor too.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
so I get a lot of people sometimes come. Then I have other business leader, people have business who very supportive of me.
Yeah.
Give me some advice. Then to join the Rotary, join this. So I start connect the dot.
Yeah. So tell me, how was it? What are some of the challenges? Even though you have these great connections and these individuals reaching out, what is those some of the challenges within the city? That you would like to see and kind of address.
The challenge I see it's the perception.
Mm-hmm.
People need to change the perception, and people need to give when something new open.
Yeah.
People need to give that
A chance.
Yes. To see if it's work or if it doesn't work. Because when you do business, everyone is welcome. Everyone's opinion is welcome.
Yeah.
Don't assume
Yeah.
or this place change. Or used to be Norton, now it's Caribbean Breeze. It's no good. Not even give it a try.
Yeah.
So what the challenge is always, hey, give a chance. Change is not easy,
Yeah.
but at least sometimes change is for the best.
Yeah, especially in a community, where we have a lot of mentalities from, old generations, 5, 6 generations in that are like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. 6 generations in, we've been doing this for a really long time, and people are afraid of change, I think. But it's always welcome. An opinion is always necessary, whether it's good or indifferent. But what I respect and I liked about you, sir, is that you said, I noticed that this establishment has been here for a really long time. I don't want to shoo away the old clientele. I'm going to keep the breakfast menu the same, because that was the tradition. The tradition was that it was a breakfast spot where a lot of the clientele that was consistent there, you're still saying, hey guys, no, I'm keeping the breakfast the same as a thank you, but when it comes to lunch and dinner, I'm doing something special for my culture, which shows that it's inviting for everybody. And I want the listeners to understand that, especially this morning when we were there, you had some people looking through the window, kind of seeing what was going on, and then coming in, and then your host said, "No, sir, welcome. Hi, how could would you like some coffee?" And yeah, what type of food do you have? Oh no, the breakfast is still the same. And then you saw a sense of relief, you know.
Yes, people see the Caribbean Breeze and Bar, they think
Yeah.
we're not. No, we still,
Right.
I have a base customer every day, 7:15, they're sitting in their car
Yeah.
to come to get coffee. They still come every day. I have a customer every day. Every time you walk to the door, it's 10 or 11, the same time. They come in, drink a coffee, get a pancake, get the muffin, but I keep the place the same. Yeah, so nothing changed except the name and the new owner and the Caribbean. But when they come to your breakfast, 7 days a week on Sunday and weekend,
You're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week. Come enjoy your breakfast and your lunch. We still have your burger. We still have your chicken tender. We still have your meatloaf. We still have your shepherd pie.
Wow.
We still have your panini, your salad.
Yeah.
We still have all of this. So come enjoy your breakfast and enjoy your lunch and get a flair of the Caribbean cuisine.
Absolutely. And tell me, you said you had drinks. You have alcoholic beverages at night?
Yes, we have a full bar.
A full bar.
Full bar because it's then I offer beer from all Caribbean islands. So
Really?
if you want your Presidente, we have it.
Yeah.
You want your Stella,
Shout out to the
you
Dominicans.
have it. you want your Red Stripe, we have it
Yeah.
from Jamaica.
What's the Puerto Rican?
Stella,
Medalla.
Medalla.
Yeah.
We have the medal. We have.
I bet you don't
Rican.
have my beer. I'm from Ecuador though. I want a cristal. Well, but you said Caribbean beers. That's South America. All right, I'm gonna let that slide. I got you. As long as you got the
Medalla.
president.
We have medalla. Yeah, we do have it. Yes.
You got the red stripe. All right.
Yes.
I love that you have a little bit of everything and keeping the tradition the same. It's kind of like, hey, breakfast is still the same, but now we have our tradition. But I love what you did with the uplift of the outside. It lights up. It's inviting. It's welcoming, and like I said earlier, like the colors. It just reminds me of like old Havana.
Yes,
You know?
because I places I went when I get the menu. I went to get it print, and they said, "Oh, I always see this building. It look like a dead building, just a brick building sitting. Nobody know what it is." So that's when I talked to the marketing department. They said, "Oh, listen, this is what we need. We need to bring the building out, put the awning, light up, so people can see there is a
Right.
building there." That's
Right. So people don't drive their cars through.
yeah,
it, you know?
people said, "Why you spend that money? It costs too much money."
Yeah.
So one person said, "You have to flip a lot of pancake to make that money."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're gonna do something, you have to do it to bring the light to the city, and at the same time for the community too. Easy you are, you can recognize the Caribbean restaurant. You can't miss it.
As a business owner, what do you want to see? What do you want to see for the Caribbean community, for the Black and Brown community here in Nashville? What do you want to see?
I want them to be more involved because I have a lot of people stop by to thank me because say, "Oh, brother, it's about time we have a brother or have a business." So take the chance, invest it. You can be anything you want to be, and you can be just participate, integrating more activity.
Right.
If you can do a restaurant, do a restaurant. You can do a radio. Do a radio show. So
You want to open a media company? Open a media company.
Don't be afraid. Step back. Say, no, because it's everything. It's open.
Yeah.
We have opportunity. We all have the same opportunity, the same thing. Take the risk. People say, "Oh, you're not gonna successful." Of course, I've been the first month. Sometimes the place is empty because nobody know. People are afraid. Like you said, people looking at the window, see what's there,
Yeah.
then we tell them welcome. It's nothing, it's open for everyone.
Is it
you know?
safe? Is Susie still coming here?
It's open for everyone. We're here. We're not going anywhere.
Is Don and Tom in there? Is it safe? Oh yeah, got a couple of brothers in there, but hopefully
Yeah.
it's not too spicy. Is it spicy in there?
Yeah.
Spices, not spicy.
Spicy is not spicy.
I got it. Now, if you put that on a Caribbean breeze, the food has spices, not spicy. Oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
an idea. I'm
Yeah.
throwing that some.
Yeah.
Maybe some shirts when we sell some shirts.
But a chef,
Yeah.
right? Our job, we can give you a cup of water.
When you say
We make
chef, you can point at me too. I know how to cook some.
We make you believe it's a wine. That's what chefs do.
Yeah.
We make something.
Yeah.
The flair we put to it, the way we explain it,
Right.
the taste we put to it, we make you believe, because when the food, we give the food the name.
Right.
We can take something you eat, we just add something, or we take something, then we call it, then say, oh, I love that, I love that. Most, all the chef, the celebrity chef, all they get their title
How?
by travel to the third world country. That's that's they go out other country, then they learn the old fashioned way, then they take it, they come to United States, they refine it, they present it, and people love it.
And then
you got Chef Ramsay now.
Yeah. And the portions.
A lot of things. He was in Boston.
Yeah.
I heard they were talking about lobster.
Yeah.
He's talking about mayonnaise or butter. He said he's a celebrity chef. He said
Right.
butter. They said no in Boston. No, he said mayonnaise. He said no in Boston we use butter. And sometimes he explained some cookings from his mom.
Yeah.
Sometimes they cooking from grandma. I have a customer who came in. She bring her mother, who's not eating a lot, and they came in. They sat down. They ordered a meal. When I sent the meal, she ate everything. When I went to the table, she said, "You know what? First, I'm gonna thank you. You make my mother eat today."
Wow.
And her mother said, "I feel like you are in my kitchen.
Wow.
This season, everything is perfect.
Yeah.
If I come here, I eat here, I can eat." Because that's why the Caribbean food must be authentic.
Yes.
Not putting anything fancy, try to use the right spicy, the way they do it, because you have to make people feel homesick when they come to your restaurant. That's the key of having a Caribbean restaurant. You cannot call it a Caribbean restaurant. When they come, the food, no, you have to follow exactly what's going on in it. The tradition, home cooking.
I was lost in your words. I lost my train of thought. The passion shows. I mean, yeah, it's there. And to be blessed with your presence in your restaurant, I wish you nothing but the best. Because I think that you're truly inspiring, and to be able to go around the world and say, no, I want to do it here for our people because it's necessary, and still keep a little bit of everything for everybody, so everybody comes through that door. That warmth and that welcoming shows, and we felt that this morning. It was special.
We have to be diverse. That the diversity of food. Even on the food, we need to be diverse.
Right,
you cannot be specific.
I'm excited to see where life brings you, because I think that, and I'm excited even now. Like, we knew, but we didn't know, and that's why we have these shows. We have these shows with great individuals like yourself to tell us a little bit about your stories, so that everybody that kind of has the perception can listen and say, wow, I didn't know that. We hear a lot about that. So I invite everybody this weekend, today, with their significant other or by themselves, because it is truly like you're cooking in your kitchen and you're inviting them to your dining room. A piece of your experience, a piece of your home in Caribbean breeze. I appreciate that.
It's totally 2 immense to it. They all not on classic cafe. You can't miss it. Caribbean breeze.
Any what was I gonna say? Do you have any there's a lot of people that are like vegetarian, gluten free, vegans. Do you offer those type of options for those individuals?
Yes, we have those options. Gluten free. We have you you, you
Yeah.
you got you got the fried plantain don't get gluten in it.
Most people don't know this, but a lot of the Caribbean food is actually naturally gluten free.
Yes,
Good to
you
know.
got the rice and beans.
Yeah, if you think
What-
about it, like a lot of our food is already naturally gluten free.
Oh, yeah. When I cook the oxtail, I don't use flour in the oxtail.
Right.
No flour in the oxtail.
Right.
So not so, and I know if gluten free, it has to be cooked separate too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Orft, right here, the owner, world executive chef, right here in our city, Nashville, New Hampshire. Caribbean Breeze, 233 Main Street, Nashville, New Hampshire, open 7 days a week, and has a little bit of everything for everybody. I'm Oscar Villacis, thanking you, sir, for being here on our show, and thanking you for bringing a piece of home right here in the heart of our community. I'm your host, Oscar Villacis, and a special shout out to Fences Unlimited, fencesunlimited.com for new employment, brick and mortar with corporate benefits, and also Rivera Nayarit, Mijalisco, Boomer Graphics and Signs. And if you need help with your rent, please reach out to New Hampshire Rental Assistance right now. They're helping as many people as they can. Till next time.
WSMN 95.3 FM Nashua. Listen, watch, and stream at WSMN.